Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Riddle Ready Check. Today I'm sat here with three people. I'm sat here with Dacreq, I'm sat here with Nias, and I'm sat here with ft.SlowQ. And we're going to be talking a bit about the games that happened last week, and the games that are going to happen in this week, or the one game actually, because we're only playing against one team, Fnatic Horizon. So, we'll get straight into it, no rubbish. Obviously last week, guys, we had a 3-0 week. We played against Granite Resolve and BTXL, as you know. The Granite game, first off, was a bit of a stomp, kind of. So, how was the drafting from your eyes, Dacreq?
I mean, we got a quali right. We got basically everything we wanted. Like, maybe not the best synergy comp, but we just got champions we're really comfortable on. Like we got Nidalee, we got the Akali, we got Viego Estral, and I think the last pick was Syndra when they already have Rumble. So yeah, it just felt really easy from draft. Obviously, like their late invade helped a bit in the game, but yeah, like from draft, I think it felt pretty easy.
And obviously they changed their mid laner from Muta to Royal Cannon quite late on in the week. So did that change anything in the drafting that was coming in, or do they kind of have the similar playstyles and similar champion pools?
I mean, we didn't have to ban Seraphine. That's one thing, I guess. And we didn't expect them to like just pick Orianna if Seraphine is banned. Like they last picked Syndra, but we didn't really have to do much different. It's only was really the Seraphine pick, I think, that people respected.
And obviously you mentioned the fact we got Akali. Akali is a champion that has been kind of a crutch, I guess, for a lot of teams in the NLC. Especially when there's one person on it that is very good on Singularity's team. Is this champion just OP, or does people just not know how to play against it?
It's clearly OP. Like you can try to counter it. You can like build comps around playing versus it, but it's still like going to be able to do some stuff. Like sure, if you're picking like Lulu or something, it can be hard, but like it's a champion where basically the player playing the champion is like picking every fight, and the player playing Akali is basically the one with the agency, like deciding how everything is going. So
fair enough. And obviously the player that's playing Akali, ft.SlowQ, will come to you now. You've had quite a few set games this split so far. How do you feel about that champion? Is it something you enjoy playing, or is it something that you just put on because it's good and you're good?
I mean, the champ is, I think, in my opinion, really fun to play, and it's also really good.
Would you prefer to play a champion like Set, or would you prefer these Akalis and these Viegos and kind of the aggressive champions?
I would prefer Viego and Akali.
Fair enough. And obviously you've had a few other games as well on champions like LeBlanc, Orianna, Sylas, which you've had less luck on, and whether it's to do with the games and the teams, but you've had not as much luck on them champions. So why do you think these champions like Set really fit your playstyle then?
I'm not really sure, but I think it's because it is my comfort champ.
Okay, fair enough. Obviously you've had a lot of luck on it, so keep it up, I guess. It's very definitely working. Obviously that was a champion that you pulled out in a few games last week as well, and as usual it went really well. You got the MVP in last week as well. You're kind of at the top of the team now in terms of MVP, so how does that feel as well, knowing that you're the person that's kind of stepping up against the rest?
I don't know.
Well, I'll assume it feels nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Nias, I'll come to you next. So obviously Riddle are kind of known as a team that we're one of the best early game teams in the NLC. I think we're about second in early game gold leads. So
yeah,
this is a thing that obviously looks really good on the team. But in the BTXL game that we had, we were down 3k gold in 19 minutes. Why do you think that was? What do you think went wrong in the early game? And how do you think it changed the team's playstyle in that game? Obviously knowing that they're usually ahead quite a lot in the early game, and this game they were down. How did that feel from like a coaching point of view, and how do you think the players adapted to that?
I mean, we like basically or like second jungle route was wrong. Like we got double crapped for zero reason, which like obviously hurt us a lot, and Diana fell behind. But even if they get like a gold lead, or like basically the gold lead that they got was like they got the first 3 towers on the Phileas, right?
Yeah.
But even if they get the towers, like we can just freeze sidelines and we can freeze mid and we can trade jungle camps and we just come back with like TPs because they don't sweep their vision. We kind of knew this, so even if we fall behind against like the champions they had, because he had 4 melee champs, right? They had Lee Sin, Nocturne, Rumble, and Thresh,
Yeah.
and then like a pretty low range carry like Aphelios. They can't really siege, like they can't really just kill our towers easily. So even though yeah, sure they got the first 3 towers, they didn't get a single power after that, if I remember correctly, just because their champions can't. So champs just can't end the game, so they have to like win a team fight, and we just didn't give them the team fight, and we just stopped them won the game.
And of course, the Granite and Resolve games, we were expected to win, but the BTXL game, kind of no one expected us to win that. So what were your thoughts going into the week in terms of them games? And how are you kind of feeling? Obviously, we saw it in the mic check if people haven't seen it. There was a lot of hype and a lot of screaming after we won that game, but what was your thought process going into the week, knowing that you had to play against BTXL at the end of the week? And it was like a 3-game week as well.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of had the idea that the first 2 games were going to be like more of easy games, right? I mean, the Resolve game was like quite harder than it should be. Like, I remember we even talked in the draft that we should ban Nivea because it's pretty good against the champions we wanted to play. And then for some reason, we ended up banning Polar because I think it was brought up and it sounded reasonable, and Nivea just slipped our mind. That champion made it really hard for us. But we still got the skill, and then when we scale with Sivir, Rakan, like level 16 and 3 items, like of course we win. And they didn't really have that big of like an ending window with like the champs had, because he had like Lee Sin jungle, Nivea mid, and then yeah, I mean versus BTXL it was just yeah, sure we weren't expect to win, but they always draft like this, and like they always draft like humps where they need to win team fights in order to get something. And when we have champions with like a lot of divine senderers and like bruisery tanky champions like I guess Diana with stopwatch a bit, Wukong and Viega, it becomes like really hard for them to do that, which is basically why we drafted those champions. So just basically just pretty much a free win, like from draft at least.
Fair enough. And Dacreq, obviously, there's been a lot of moments in the games for Riddle this split that have kind of been a draft diff, and we've done really well in the drafts and stuff. So obviously coming to the Fnatic Rising game, which is next week, we only have 1 game to play. It's against them. They are at the moment the best team in the NLC if you look at wins. So how are you kind of looking at that game coming in as a coach, and how do you feel that their style kind of is?
I mean, we're kind of used to what they're picking, right? Generally, like low range, and then engage. We kind of know what to expect, so it's not really going to be hard preparing like versus them in particular. It's more like what is our best way of beating it, right? So and obviously it's also a new patch, Threadbreaker changes and the new items. I don't think those are that impactful, but yeah, of course, like the Threadbreaker change is huge. Like it changes
Mage items as well a bit.
some of the OPs.
Mage items as well, right?
Yeah, and major items are a bit cheaper, but I mean, they didn't do anything to Doran's shield and second wind, so yeah,
I mean,
it helps, but yeah.
I mean, the 200 gold is so insane when you're still like 300 AP at 40 minutes, no?
And obviously you mentioned the major item changes and stuff. SlowQ, how are you feeling, obviously, coming into this week? The first game you ever played competitively was against Fnatic Rising, against, obviously, Febiven in the mid lane. So you've had some time to play the games now. Obviously, we're week 5 into the split now. How are you kind of feeling coming up against Fnatic again and coming up against Febiven? Are you more confident this time? Are you more relaxed going into the split? How are you feeling about it?
I mean, I'm for sure more relaxed from the first week.
Was there a lot of like nerves in the first week then?
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I think it's gonna be fine. I think.
Are you feeling confident?
Yeah.
Sounds good. And do you feel like the mage item changes are going to affect the meta between you and Febiven, and obviously with the team coming into this game, or do you think it doesn't really matter?
I don't think it really matters.
Fair enough. And obviously, one final question. This is for everyone. Obviously, Fnatic Rising are currently 9-2. We've got Galaxy Race and Nordwind and us all in 7-4 in the league, and obviously only 3 people make playoffs. So go from top to bottom. Dacreq, I'll ask you first. What is the final order going to be of the top 3 teams going into playoffs from Group B?
Fnatic is like on top right, and we're shared for a second, I think.
Yeah.
So I obviously think we're gonna make it, right? I think Fnatic probably have 2 game lead or 1 game lead. I don't
2.
remember.
They're 9-2 and we're 7-4.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Fnatic are probably gonna be first. I think we should make second. The third team, either Galaxy Racer or Norvin. I mean, it feels a bit hard. I feel like Kerberos pulling out Ignite TPs and Crisper hard carrying, like versus Galaxy Racer. I feel like if Norvin like can fix a lot of their issues and be less predictable, I feel like they should be better than Galaxy Racer, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna say Norvin and then Galaxy Racer not making playoffs.
Okay. And SlowQ, what do you think? What's the final order going to be?
I have no idea.
Don't even want to guess?
I don't know.
Okay, Nias, what do you think?
I mean, I think it depends. I mean, if we don't troll this week, I don't see us losing a game. Like, if we genuinely just keep up our performance, like even against ft.SlowQ, we kind of played bad. If we just keep up our scrim performance, I don't think we should drop a game. And if Fnatic drops a game to another team, then we're contested first with Fnatic. So kind of depends on that. But the 3 teams making it through are going to be like Northern us and Fnatic for sure. I don't think Galaxy Razor is making it.
Okay. And one actually interesting thing you say, we played bad in the BTXL game. That was something that was in the mic check. After the game was finished, everyone had kind of calmed down, and something you said was, we played so bad that game.
Yeah, we did. Like when they picked off Kex, and they had no idea if Flay was on flank. Baron was on 8k HP, and we decided to randomly like fucking flash him for no reason. And like, even our early game was really bad. We passed it wrong. The rotations like were fucking horrible that game. Like, we really trolled that game. That game should not have been that close. Like, seriously, it's kind of a bit stupid, but I mean, yeah, you know, like, you always make mistakes, especially under pressure, because like their name is so big, right?
Definitely.
If we get over that pressure and we get over that name against Fnatic Rising, then we actually like show what we can do as a team. I mean, they shouldn't be able to breathe, but we'll see, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Dusty beat Fnatic Rising, so they're not invincible, right? So I think we definitely got a lot of chances. But obviously the Fnatic Rising game is on Tuesday at 21 CEST. Thank you everyone for joining me, and obviously make sure you're checking out all of our content that we've put out this week. We've put out 2 mic checks on the games. Some of the stuff we spoke about here you'll see in the mic check, so definitely go and check them out. Dacreq, is there anything you want to say to people to get them watching the Fnatic Rising versus Riddle game this week?
I mean, we obviously took down XL last game, right? And we're pretty confident right now. I think if we can, like, not make the same stupid mistakes we made against XL, because that game was extremely frustrating to watch, then I think we have a good chance of beating.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for joining me. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and make sure to check out our game and have a nice day.